Once upon a time, there were two beautiful princesses. They were sisters, and they lived in a magical land. The magical land was called Mistlandia, and the princesses lived in a massive castle in Mistlandia. The castle in Mistlandia was protected and guarded by a magical nutcracker. If anyone ever tried to hurt the princesses, the magical nutcracker would catch them and eat them in his mouth. Then, one day, an evil little boy called Big Nose came to Mistland. He walked over the rocky desert. He walked through the great jungles and through the giant forests until he reached Mistlandia. Big Nose met the two princesses, and he lied to them. Big Nose told the princesses that he was their long-lost brother. The princesses were so excited. They had found a long-lost brother, and even though he was kind of funny-looking and ugly, they still rejoiced, and they told him all about the kingdom and all the secrets of the kingdom. And the biggest secret they told Nosy was about the nutcracker, how the nutcracker protected them from any evil. But if a secret word was said to the nutcracker, then the nutcracker would freeze for all time, and the kingdom would no longer be protected. But what the princesses hadn't told Nosy was that there was a way to break the spell, but it required a magical pink bird to come and whisper a secret word into the nutcracker's ear. The princesses were so excited. They had found a long-lost brother, and even though he was kind of funny-looking and ugly, they still rejoiced, and they told him all about the kingdom and all the secrets of the kingdom. And the biggest secret they told Nosy was about the nutcracker. So, just as the nutcracker had picked up Big Nose and was about to eat him, Big Nose whispered the magical word into the nutcracker's ear. And the nutcracker's mouth closed shut one final time and froze like it forever. With the nutcracker safe and unable to hurt him, Big Nose captured the two princesses and he imprisoned them in the castle. Locked inside their beautiful castle, the princesses could only watch as every day Big Nose danced and sang and made fun of them, and all the time the silent nutcracker could do nothing as he was frozen by the magical word that could only ever be undone by a magical pink bird. But don't worry, viewers, for this is a fairy tale, and everybody knows that fairy tales have good endings, and that magical pink birds really do exist. Very moment, there was a magical pink bird flying on its way to this magical land of Mistlandia to help the princess escape the horrible Big Nose. The magical pink bird flew into Mistlandia and saw the beautiful princesses trapped in their castle. He flew up to the Nutcracker and whispered the magical words into his ear, releasing the Nutcracker from his spell. The Nutcracker, released from his spell, saw the evil Big Nose. Saw that Big Nose had captured the princesses and was teasing them unmercifully for being pretty and cute and all too nice. And so the Nutcracker grabbed Big Nose. He caught him in his hand and he placed him in his mouth. And he chewed up Big Nose till he was all gone. And the princesses were freed from the castle, and they were so happy. And they thanked the pink bird, and they asked the pink bird what would he like most. And the pink bird said, "Princesses, you're the most beautiful girls in the whole kingdom. Will you marry me?" And the princesses said, "Yes, we'll marry you." So the princesses married the pink bird, and they lived in the kingdom happily ever after, and they had lots and lots of pink baby bird babies. And the princesses buried Big Nose in the rock desert. One by one they covered him up until Big Nose was completely covered in rocks. And the princesses, thinking that Big Nose was completely buried, left the rock desert and went back to their castle to live with Pink Bird. But what the princesses didn't do was cover up Big Nose completely, for in that rocky grave a small part of his nose was still visible, which meant the sun could get to Big Nose and he could live again. And Big Nose burst out of his grave. He threw the rocks off him. Big Nose lives again.